I'm just going to do a video on how I glue up high impact polystyrene, or styrene as it's often known. So that's this white plastic. This is 3mm hips. Generally you use Weld On, Weld On 3 or Weld On 16 to glue the hips together. So that's a solvent, so it melts the two parts together. I like to use this D Limonene. From my understanding, it's a bit safer than Weld On, according to the material safety data sheets anyway. The Limonene is made from the skin of oranges, I think, or just normal citrus fruit. So it has an orangey smell to it. It's used a lot in cleaning products. So if there's an orange scent to a cleaning product, it generally has D Limonene in it. D Limonene is also a solvent to hips, so it has the same, it does the same adhesion, it just takes a little bit longer. So to protect my skin, I'm going to be using these nitrile gloves. And a cartridge mask. So this cartridge is an A1 cartridge in it, so that's for organic gases and vapours, so that will reduce the amount of fumes that I breathe in. If you're using Weld On, you definitely need to use a mask and gloves as well. So I'll just get the mask on and we'll start gluing up the pieces. The idea is I've got 4 pieces there. I'm going to test the strength after 15 minutes, after 1 hour, after a day, and then maybe 2 days, I guess. So I normally decant the Limonene into a smaller container, but because I'm just doing these 4 joints, I'm just going to use it straight out the can. A little bit about the jig. So I've just got some bits of angle on there, clamped onto it just so I can hold it in place while the solvent's setting, and so they'll be at 90 degrees just to hopefully make the test even. So I'm just putting some D Limonene on a cheap paintbrush. Going to paint that on the surfaces I want to adhere to. So I'll let that set up for 15 minutes now, and we'll try the first piece and see how strong it is. So something I did mention that I should mention, I suppose, you can also use a syringe to put the D Limonene in and squirt it on the joints. That's good if you're covering bigger areas. The the same principle that you can use, that you would use if you're using Weld On. So I'm going to add a little bit extra to the video. I have some Weld On 3, so I thought it'd be interesting to see, give the comparison between Weld On 3 and the D Limonene. And on another strip I'll use this traditional plastic cement for plastic models. So I've got the Tamiya and Mr. Cement. Not much left of the Tamiya, so I'll use the Mr. Cement. I'm not sure if there's a lot of difference between the two, so it'll be interesting to see how they all hold up. So first up with the number 3. The Weld On 3 definitely has more initial grip than the D Limonene. Now for the Mr. Cement. Okay then, so that's the Limonene's had 15 minutes now. Okay, so we'll do this one here first. That's a little bit wobbly. After a bit of wobbling, so yep, but it still obviously hasn't set properly. We'll come back in an hour time for that and do the next one. Right, so that's been 15 minutes for the Weld On 3 and the Mr. Cement. stuck pretty good there. Okay. Just make sure it's in camera. So after 15 minutes, yeah, it appeared to be a little bit more stuck than the Limonene. It still hasn't set properly though. Now for the Mr. Cement. Yeah, it's not. It's still quite tacky. Yeah, the Weld On doesn't have a lot of tack to it anymore. Mr. Cement still feels a bit like quick rip. I'm going to say after 15 minutes it was the Weld On 3 had the most strength, then closely followed by the D Limonene, and then Mr. Cement that had significantly less. So we'll come back again in an hour time and see how it's set up. So it's been an hour now for the D Limonene. It's still a little bit wobbly. That's 1 hour. We'll do the Weld On and the Mr. Cement in about 15 minutes time. Well, now it's been about an hour. We'll do a Weld On test. Yep, that's reasonably firm, but yeah, it has no tack, so that's okay. Now the Mr. Cement. It's sitting up okay, so it's very much like the Weld On and the Limonene. Still a little bit tacky. You can see that, not too bad. So at the moment they're all pretty much the same after 1 hour. Right, this is about 7 hours since the glue up. Test for the Limonene. It's quite solid on there. Oh, so that took quite a bit of force to break that off. So this is the Weld On 3. That's quite solid as well. Yep, took a fair bit of force. So that's just to expect, quite dry. So this is the Mr. Cement. That's pretty solid as well. Not quite as solid as the Weld On and the D Limonene, but still ever so slightly tacky. So we'll try in 24 hours, so we'll see how it goes from there. So it's a little bit over 24 hours later from the glue up. It's the D Limonene. it's pretty solid on there. Oh, there's a lot of force there to break that. Now this is the Weld On. Yeah, that's on there pretty good too. It's pretty hard to, without some scales or something like that, to measure how much force it took, but that was very similar. This is the Mr. Cement model glue. That's on there pretty good too. Oh, okay, maybe not as, it was on there, but it let go really easy after a bit. So yeah, so I guess conclusion is that this is made the weakest of the three joints. But then, realistically, this is designed for plastic model kits, so you wouldn't normally be putting that sort of force on it. The Weld On and the D Limonene, very close to each other. If at a pinch, you'd have to say, I'd say that maybe the Weld On very, very slightly stronger joint, but there's virtually nothing in it. Both of them took a lot of force, and gluing it this way is most probably the weakest possible surface you could do. Gluing it this way would be a lot stronger, more surface area. But in conclusion, Weld On or the D Limonene after 24 hours is a very strong joint, very strong.